When we see Tai Chi, we usually picture those slow, graceful movements in a park. But what if there's more to it than that? What if it's actually a hidden strategy for navigating our crazy, fast-paced modern world? Today, we're going to dig into Tai Chi not just as an exercise, but as a really powerful philosophy for life. Think about it. We live in a world that is just obsessed with speed and getting results right now. But at the exact same time, our societies are getting older and healthcare costs are, well, they're soaring. It's a real paradox, and it brings up a critical question for all of us. In a culture that's all about the sprint, how do we build the kind of strength that can actually endure the marathon of a lifetime? The answer, and this might seem a little surprising, isn't about pushing harder or moving faster. Nope. It's found in a practice that actually celebrates the opposite, slowness, the wisdom of yielding to pressure and developing a deep, deep awareness of ourselves. And that practice, of course, is Tai Chi. And here's the thing, its benefits go way beyond just personal well-being. As we're about to see, Tai Chi offers this elegant, though often overlooked, solution to some of our biggest challenges as a society. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a fundamental clash of philosophies. On one side, you've got modern fitness, which is so often focused on these external goals, lift more, run faster, just push harder. Well, Tai Chi completely flips that script. It's all about internal feedback, about learning to really listen to your body and valuing stability over just raw power. It's a big shift from asking, what can I conquer, to what can I understand? And this is where it gets incredibly practical. I mean, in an age where our healthcare systems are pretty strained, Tai Chi is remarkably efficient. It's low risk, which makes it sustainable for pretty much anyone, at any age. It's low cost, you don't need a fancy gym membership, but maybe the most important thing is that it fosters self-awareness. It empowers people to understand their own bodies, which reduces our dependency on the system and helps us take a truly proactive approach to our health for our entire lives. But how does it all actually work? To get that, we need to go beyond just the physical movements and really explore the deep philosophy that guides every single action in Tai Chi. Right at the very heart of Tai Chi is this beautiful concept, Shanhua. So imagine instead of bracing yourself for a big wave, you learn how to move with it, using its own energy to guide you. That, right there, is Shanhua. It's the art of skillfully transforming and neutralizing an incoming force, not by meeting it head-on with brute strength, but by absorbing it and redirecting it with this incredible adaptability. This idea is just perfectly captured in the Tai Chi classics. When the opponent is hard, I am soft. This is called yielding. I follow them to gain the advantage. Now, this isn't about being weak. Yielding here is actually a super powerful strategy. By being soft, you're not giving up. You're gathering information, you're sensing their energy, and you're positioning yourself to find the perfect moment for a decisive advantage. So this whole philosophy of yielding leads us to one of the most important distinctions in all of Tai Chi: the difference between just using brute force and applying a refined skill. The source material breaks this down into two types of control. On the left, you've got Li Kong, which is control by force. Think of it like a head-on collision, just raw power. But on the right, we have Chao Kong, control by skill. This isn't about how much force you use, but how and where you apply it. It's all about intelligence over muscle. So how do you actually achieve this skillful control? Well, it's a dynamic, three-step process. First, use sense. It's all about becoming incredibly perceptive, feeling the other person's intention and their force. Then you yield. So instead of fighting back, you absorb that energy almost like a cushion. And finally, you redirect. You use their own momentum, their own force, against them to create your advantage. You don't defeat the force, you just guide it. There's this classic saying that just captures the essence of it all perfectly. Use 4 ounces to deflect 1,000 pounds. Of course, it's not literal. It's this powerful metaphor for efficiency. This idea that with just a little bit of precision and understanding, a small, intelligent effort can neutralize a massive, overwhelming force. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually practice it? Well, that's where we enter the laboratory of Tai Chi, this unique training method called push hands. This is push hands, or Tui Shou, and it's so important to get this. This is not a fight. It's a cooperative exercise, almost like a physical conversation. 2 people stay in contact, sensing each other's balance, their intentions, and their energy. It's basically a living laboratory where all the principles we've been talking about can be tested and felt in real time.
But push hands very quickly becomes more than just a physical exercise. Through this constant sensitive interaction with a partner, it becomes this powerful tool for self-discovery. It makes you confront a really vital question. How do you find out what you don't know about yourself?
The source material makes this brilliant connection to the Johari window, which is a psychological model for self-awareness. Just think about it. When you practice alone, you're kind of stuck with your own perception. But in push hands, your partner's feedback is like a mirror. They instantly show you your blind spots, like the unconscious tension you're holding in your shoulders, or your habitual way of reacting to pressure. They can feel the things about you that you can't even feel yourself. And through this kind of practice, a key piece of wisdom always emerges. And it was articulated perfectly here by the great master Cheng Manqing. Defense is primary. What this means is that before you can even think about acting or winning, your number one priority is to be stable, to be aware, and to be solid in your own structure. A good defense is what creates the opportunity for any effective action.
And this is where we zoom all the way out. Because these principles, yielding, sensing, skill over force, and prioritizing a solid defense, these are not just for martial arts. They actually form a complete strategy for navigating competition and challenges in any area of your life. This is the core insight, right here. The logic of Tai Chi is the logic of strategy. It's a physical embodiment of the exact same principles that have guided the greatest strategists in history. It teaches you how to think about engagement, how to manage your resources, and how to solve problems all through physical practice. And the parallels with Sun Tzu's Art of War are they're undeniable. Know yourself and your opponent isn't some abstract idea in push hands. You literally feel your partner's intention through your skin. Adapting like water isn't a metaphor. It's what you're physically doing to neutralize force. Tai Chi is basically a physical education in the highest levels of strategic thinking.
So push hands becomes this incredible low-stakes laboratory. In here, you can experiment with all these dynamic strategies without the high cost of real-world failure. You learn to manage pressure, find opportunities, and adapt on the fly. And those are invaluable skills you can take directly from the training floor to the boardroom or even just a difficult conversation. When you really step back and look at the big picture, the Tai Chi mindset aligns perfectly with our most progressive modern values. It's a philosophy that chooses resilience over short-term efficiency, prevention over a last-minute cure, and long-term value over an immediate gain. It is, in its essence, a deeply sustainable way of thinking for your own body, for community, or even for a global business. And so we're left with this really powerful idea. Tai Chi teaches us that the most effective path isn't often the most forceful one. It asks us to be more sensitive, more adaptable, and more intelligent in our actions. So the final question really isn't about Tai Chi, it's about us, in our work, in our relationships, in our lives. What could change if we all learned to yield just a little more and force a little less?